morning, Vietnam! My mom rolled her eyes. Yes, that's the classic line from Good Morning, Vietnam, Robin Williams. I just rewatched it after many, many years, along with my mom. And I've been wanting to go back and watch Robin Williams movies. I actually was not sure about this one. I was like, do I really want to rewatch it? It's been years and years and years. Does it hold up? Should you watch it now? Sorry, I had to pause. My mother threw me off with her big eye roll there. Listen, this is an amazing, amazing movie. This is also why I love VHS. I watched it because it was cheap, because I found it for like 13 cents probably, or $1 at most. And I wouldn't normally have watched this movie, rewatched it otherwise. If you are going to study Robin Williams, one of the greatest comedians of all time, one of the greatest I'm messing up. What? Oh, she said stop and rewind. No, I'm not. This is all fresh. This is all improvisational comedy. This is a study in the form, something that's also the Vietnam War. Really a violent war. A lot of young people lost in this tragic conflict. And what a weird setting for comedy. But that's why this movie's so important. No matter what's going on in your life, no matter how hard it gets or what you face, you need to learn to laugh. And honestly, another big reason that I am going back to Robin Williams' back catalog of movies is I want to examine how he lived, not how he went out. Because unfortunately, a lot of people focus on that, which is sad. And I'm trying, that's all I want to say about it. But if you really appreciate the man and what he provided to all of us, and if you want to remember Robin Williams, I think this is the way you do it. Look at his great body of work, how he pushed the envelope, and his great improvisational, I'm still messing up, his comedy that he delivered to the masses. And he was a widely accepted comedian to the general audiences, and provided a lot of great moments, and I'm sure made you smile many times in your lifetime. Okay, so this little bit about the plot of this movie. It is loosely based on a real disc jockey or radio personality in Vietnam. Probably differs greatly in politics after I've done research on the commentary about the real disc jockey commenting on Robin Williams' performance. So it's loosely based, but there was a disc jockey in Vietnam. I want to do more research to see what type of radio he did, how closely that is. But he gets the job right away. He's like a rock star in the military, and pushing all the wrong buttons with his superiors, and going for it, and providing something as a reprieve from the horrendous reality of war. And it gets to the point which I think is very accurate, that he is supposed to report on. This is very striking and probably accurate to Vietnam and the young soldiers that went into battle there. It got to the point where every single news story would have to go through a committee of upper military just to see what you can actually say on the radio. Besides what he provided for comic relief to the soldiers, he couldn't even tell them what they were facing. And he constantly pushed the envelope to try to tell these young people, these young soldiers, what they're facing in Vietnam. That was also, I think if there's one thing, Mom, if there's one thing that's probably accurate, it's probably that. They didn't want those young soldiers knowing what they were going on going into the battlefield, which is, it's very sad, honestly, because there's a lot lost in this war. But I'm not going to go through the whole story. It does not just focus on the comedy. There's some real. He also has develops a relationship with the Vietnamese people, including a young Vietnamese man and his sister. He also develops relationships with a bar owner, a very flamboyant bar owner, and a class of Vietnamese people learning English. That's very heartwarming. So there's more to the story than just his job in the military as a radio personality. But if you are going to go back to Robin Williams' back catalog, should you skip Good Morning Vietnam? Absolutely not. And I wasn't sure before I rewatched it. I really wasn't sure. Absolutely must watch. Amazing performance from Robin Williams. And as far as I could tell until I get to the rest of his catalog, probably his best example of improvisational comedy that he has provided to the audience. I can't think of another movie that shows that. And then if you are interested in improv, definitely a great case study. I love also the box art. I honestly, I do also want to research if this was earlier on in his career after Mork and Mindy. This was made in 1987. I'm trying to think of when his big movies started. As far as I could tell, this is probably one of his first big movies after Mork and Mindy. Instantly goes up the list in my top favorite Robin Williams movies, and I will watch this again. Could this be any better? Do I have any criticisms? My only criticism would probably be that they took a lot of liberties with the original disc jockey. But you know what? If they didn't, it wouldn't be as enjoyable as a movie. So don't take this as a fact that all those things happened in this movie. But it's. I actually want to see who directed it. I'm trying to see who directed it. Directed by Barry Levinson. I don't know who that is. I will do some research to see what other movies Barry Levinson directed. Probably some other great movies. And there's some scenes with the soldiers that as far as I could tell, I think Robin just did it off the cuff, and they just hit record on the cameras, as far as I could tell. But this makes me want to do research, and they don't make movies like this anymore. There is some things that, some jokes and stuff that are not for today's audiences, that people may have issue with. I don't think not too many that push the boundaries, but unbelievable what Robin could do back in the day in his prime. That's all I have to say about it. If you like these retro reviews and reviewing old movies, rewatching them again, when I watched this, I was probably a kid. And my mother said, I probably shut it off. There's some comedy that wasn't appropriate for you when you were younger. I think she was saying in the background. So I'm rewatched it now. Definitely must watch. And I'm glad my copy still has the plastic on. I will watch this again after watching it a second time. Thanks for watching. Please thumbs up the video. Leave your comments below. Tell me if you've seen Good Morning Vietnam. And if you want to, or your top 3 favorite Robin Williams movies, or recommend one that I might not have seen yet. Recommend some hidden gem Robin Williams movies. I'll see you next time.